7 hours driving on the highway. Far away, far away, far away. Every moment I was spending on regrets was such a waste, such a waste, such.
They say fortune favors the bold. So what are you waiting for? The right time? The right sign? The right guide? The thing is, movement maker, you were never meant to follow anyone else. You were destined for something bolder and braver and truer, and you know it. It's time for you to write your own damn permission slip. You have permission to dream big, not that you need it from us. Fortune favors the bold. So, what are you waiting for?
Woo! Hey! It's Carrie Campbell.
Here I am.
Dance party, dance party. Yes, Carrie. Woo! Yes! Woo! How are you, Carrie Campbell? We are so excited that you're here.
I love being here, and that video never gets old. It just gives me goosebumps every time I see it. I love it.
That makes me really happy. I, have heard it so many times now that it's starting to sound when I'm like, your own damn permission slip. It's like, yeah, Sally is intense, making it happen.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, well, welcome, Carrie Campbell from the Boston Red Sox, like the Boston Red Sox, Fenway Park, VP of all events that happen in that building outside of baseball games. Like, you do incredible work, and we are so excited to have you here. So, round of applause, everyone in the public, for Carrie Campbell.
So great to be here. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I didn't mean to take the actual introduction of yourself away from you, because I want you to, that's the title, but actually the way you do what you do and how you do what you do, and how you lead people is your magic sauce. So you want to start by just telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, happy to. I just celebrated my 15th anniversary, which I can hardly believe, because I still feel like a new girl. 15 years with the Boston Red Sox in the event space. My team and I head up all things that are not baseball in terms of events. I have an amazing team. I have an amazing leadership team, and they really run the day-to-day. And my job is to make sure they have the tools to do their job, that they have a safe space to talk about what they need to execute. And, and we work really hard at that. We work really hard at, it's okay to have a hard conversation. It's okay to be curious. It's okay to have counterpoint. And so, we do probably about 500 events a year, private events, public events that aren't baseball. So it's a hamster wheel roller coaster, crazy time, but it's also really fun to be in the space at an iconic place that people have an emotional connection to. So it's really fun place to do it.
Iconic. It's so true. And 500 events a year, that is mind-boggling to me. Because each one of those is important. As somebody who does events or shows up at events and speaks at events, you're like, oh my gosh, each one of those, as a producer of an event, you're like, oh my God, you want your people to love it and know it's as important to you as it is to them. And that is a gift of hospitality.
Right. Making everyone feel like they're the only event, making everyone feel special and warmly welcomed. And, you've heard me say this, Sally, it starts with your people. So while we're out, making sure everyone feels warmly welcomed and everyone feels like they're the only person in the room, that's our job as leaders, to make sure that the people delivering that feel like the only person in the room, that you know their name, that you're making eye contact, that you're channeling the recognition, all those things. So that's
and
what
I'm confident that is a gift that you bring, because I've seen you do that just in our interactions. That is just in your being. And so I'm really excited to talk a little bit more about your particular point of view as a hospitality person, and as somebody who joined us for the Permission Slip Conference last year.
Yes.
That's where this relationship kicked off. And I just want to give us a chance to make some of those connections, because you came to the Permission Slip Conference last year as an employee of the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
And so I think sometimes people are like, it's for female entrepreneurs. And we're like, yes. And it's for entrepreneurial people who are, and many of whom exist within the construct of a traditional employment situation, but who also have this like inner calling. So could you talk to us a little bit about why you decided to go to Permission Slip last year and what you got out of it for yourself?
Yes. I would love to answer that question and talk a little bit about it. It was definitely one of those things where I sort of hovered my cursor over, like, should I do this or not? You know, I work, as you said, I work in a corporate setting. What am I giving myself permission to do? And it was for me about, you're allowed to have a passion outside of your day job. And my passion is people, lighting people up, pouring into people. My passion is the message about how important it is to take care of your people so they take care of your business. That can look like, and how magical that can be. And I went to this conference trying to figure out, what does that look like for me? Sort of started to come around to the mindset of create the job you want where you are. And so as a result, I've been doing a lot of work with our people and culture team on a leadership session, like five month session of sort of leadership topics. But it was sitting in that room with all these women. And as you said, all different stages in their life, people that are starting a business, writing a book, already have their own business and just want to kick it up a notch, or someone like me that's like, what is my future? I always thought I would stay in corporate forever, and I'm not leaving the Red Sox. I love it. However, I have more to give, and I'm figuring out a way. I'm giving myself permission to have the conversations on how I could be doing something more meaningful where I am, and that is growing leaders. That's my passion, and I'm giving myself permission to pour into the passion of that while I'm running a major part of our business with people that are running the day to day. And that's the hat I'm wearing now, is making sure that I'm leaving a legacy. So
exciting. Yeah. To know that the entrepreneurial spirit can look like a lot of different manifestations. It's not just about the person who's off on their own and building their own business, although that is a reality for a lot of the people at Permission Slip. There's also people like you who are like, I am just looking to figure out, what is the next contribution I can make, because I want to grow. There's more in me, and I see these things happening around me in the company that I'm currently in the situation I'm currently in. And I know that I can influence and adjust and change that to some degree. And so you have been specifically working on, what does that look like? What is the point of view that you have, your own thought leadership development, which contributes to the Red Sox, and it contributes to your own personal and professional growth as well. And so I just think that's so powerful. And I love that you're doing that. So this is a super selfish question, but what was it about Permission Slip last year that you thought, oh my gosh, I wasn't sure if this is for me, but actually this helped open up or launch or unleash something new for you, this new drive of growth for yourself?
Right. Permission Slip was a container for me, a very safe space. It was this beautiful community of people, of women who are on all different journeys. And it was almost like, I'm not crazy. Like, and this is not an ego thing. You know, you tell yourself that inner critic is like on replay in here. Like, you're not smart enough. You're not who are you to go to this permission slip conference? And who are you to say you want to take on more of a meaningful role in the leadership journey? And it sort of just quieted all of that for me to be in that space. And it opened my mind up past probably to possibility. And that was, I was in this I could probably do it. I might too. I mean, and when you got up there, Sally, and talked about your story about the cold plunge and just getting off the ledge and just like get in the water. We learned this, right? And I just heard it a different way. Like, this is not new information out in the world. The talk about just being brave and just diving in, it just hit me different because I was in a space where I could be totally immersed. And, someone sitting right here who actually did it, someone sitting over here that's, in the middle of doing it. And then someone just like me across the aisle that's like, can I do it? And once we start putting it out there, the miracles start to happen, right? Somebody told me, I work with a coach, like a performance coach, and she told me last week, you better start making a list of the miracles because you're putting it out there. You're saying you want to do these things, and the miracles are like, it's coming your way. Just make a list of miracles. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to start making a list of miracles, So, yeah. And so, I mean, I think something like permission slip, there's nothing like it out there. And just the very name, like what are you giving yourself permission to do? And you don't really need the permission, but like sometimes the permission you need is from your very self. Like we're going to try this, right?
Oh my gosh, that's so powerful.
Yeah.
Sometimes the permission you need is from yourself, like to pour into, as the theme for today, to pour into this passion that you have and not worry so much about what's the form it's going to take, or can I, or should I, or do I belong in this definition?
So brilliant. Letting go of the outcome and just sort of letting it unfold. And like, I think it's your word, the messy middle. Just let it get messy. And one of my favorite quotes is, it's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not.
Oh,
right.
That is
it's like
so huge.
Like you put the handcuffs on yourself, right? Like everyone around you is like, F yes, do it. F yes, I would hire you to come speak about leadership. I'm like, who's gonna do it? It's my own. Right. I have self-belief. I do. It's just my own fear. It's my own, brain trying to keep me safe.
Right. And that you're exactly right. So it's been really fun to watch your growth journey over the last 8-9 months as we have been working together and as you have decided for yourself, okay, I'm not exactly sure what this looks like yet.
Yeah.
All I know is I believe these things and I have actually been doing them and leading in them. And I want to contribute to play a bigger role in in shaping this within not just our culture, but other people's cultures of hospitality and how they show up and serve other people. And so despite I think what often happens is we have self-belief in the things when we look backwards and we say, oh, I've actually done these things. I'm here for a reason. But when we start to think about new places and new identities, and that's when we go, oh, but can I? And so what you have been doing, which I just want to underline for everybody, is you have been taking action before you feel ready.
Yes. And
that's the key.
Yes. And every time I do that, I have that feeling of why did I wait so long? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so, sitting in a colleague's office being like, I know you're working on this leadership series and I want to partner with you. And he was like, absolutely. Yes. Right now. Like, let's start iterating. And I was like, oh, I've been like, thinking about that, approaching him on that for literally 3 weeks. And finally I spit it out. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. It's done. So I encourage everyone to channel some of that. But, one day it's like all there and fiery and spicy. And the next day I'm back in that place where I'm like, ooh, I'm not going to do it, So human.
Jen Whitmer is watching, and Jen says it's the action. It's the taking of the action despite the feelings that we have.
Right.
And the stupid thoughts that we have sometimes. And that has been the magic. So I love it every time you're like, Sally, every time I put myself out there or talk to other people about these ideas that you're really passionate about, that we're going to talk about here in a second, you get the response of other people who are already in greater belief in you
Right.
on this. They're like, well, duh, of course. Right. Yes, let's do it.
Add it to the list of miracles, you know? Like,
get to the list of miracles. Oh, yes, your personal, that list of miracles is such a cool idea. And it becomes your personal hype list. Like Jen said, I love it.
So I love it. Yeah.
So good. Okay. Well, I really want to dig into this particular idea that you are passionate about, because it is super powerful, regardless of what industry you're in, because we are all working with others. And we want the people that we are working with to be engaged and on board and serving our clients well. Right. So can you just talk about the thing that you are particularly leading on right now and wanting to help shape perspective and ideas around for yourself and your teams?
I mean, it's really, for me, it's about taking care of your people, the people that you are counting on to deliver whatever your product is. You got to make sure that those people feel seen and valued and heard, and they have the tools to do their job. You need to make sure you're having conversations about what that looks like for them. And that's really a conversation around recognition. And how do you like to be recognized? What's important for you? Jen actually turned me on to the love languages of recognition. Talk to people about that. Some people love personalization. It has to be directed at me. I want it in writing. Some people want the public recognition. I want everyone CC'd on the thank you note. Some people just want you to write them a thank you, right? But also deeper than that, do they have the tools to do their job? Are you asking them to step out in hospitality into a lobby with the right tools to do their job, right? Like, do they have a uniform that's clean? Can they get their uniform on time? If they're a room attendant, do they have all the tools that they need to make sure that that room gets cleaned? Is their mop new enough? Those types of things. And all of the awesome hospitality things that we talk about, like creating an experience for your guest, like use their name, make them feel special. If it's a special occasion, we want to know about it. Take that whole philosophy and apply it to your people. Do you know their names? Are you using their names? Are you looking them in the eye? Are you putting your technology away when you're having a conversation? You would never be holding your cell phone talking to a guest. Then you shouldn't be holding your cell phone when you're talking to a colleague, especially if it's a meaningful conversation. So I really feel that if you're doing a good job with those things, it's the people that are delivering that service or experience are in a place where they want to do it. They don't have to do it. They're not doing it for the paycheck. And they're going to go the extra mile because they want to, because it like fires them up. So yeah, that's what I feel really passionate about. And I think we hear so often like customer service is suffering, but I feel like there's limited resources. We are in hospitality in a labor crisis. There's not enough people to fill these roles. And so the people you do have, you better pour into them.
As Jen says, when people have the resources they need, right? This is not, you're caring for people, like at its minimum, this is good for your people. But part of what you're ultimately saying is when we think our focus should be on our clients all the time. All of our focus on the customer is always right, the customer. And you're saying, actually, if you shift more of your attention and focus on your employees, the same thing will happen. They will then be able to pour it into.
That's my belief. My belief is the number one focus has to be the people. And yes, the customer, the client is so important. And the P&L is important, and ownership is important, and stakeholders and partners and sponsors, all important. But if you don't have your people who are literally making the Kool-Aid and delivering it, right? If they're not in a good place, the business is going to not flourish. So that's, and how do you do that? How do you how do you create that culture in your company so that people feel seen, heard, that they make a difference, that they have a place to make their mark, leave a legacy. It matters that you came through the door today. Right? Yeah.
Beautiful. And so you have been taking this idea that you have lived as a hospitality professional expert, and you've been in the industry for a long time. Really, your whole professional career has been devoted to the hospitality industry, and you live it and love it. And, as you shape this idea and this thinking, you are also looking for not just applying it internally more, but also bringing your thought leadership to external companies, stages, the opportunities to serve people and really spread that message, not just to the hospitality industry, but across all kinds of industries. So I just want to give you a little bit of a shout out there as you're doing that, because you are a gifted speaker. You are deeply grounded in your experience, and we just feel when you are speaking, we feel your intention, your care, your love for the people that you're talking to and your employees. Like, we feel it deeply. So I just want you to know that.
Thank you.
So good. Okay. So I want to shift our conversation a little bit back to the permission that you are giving yourself right now, because you're not just giving, you're giving yourself some, a little space within the professional industry that you're in right now, the role that you're in right now. And I think a lot of people find themselves in that spot. So what are some of the things that you're doing to create you've given yourself some permission to pour into your passion, but what does that really look like for yourself as you are within this role?
Well, it looks like finding ways to use what's so important to me. How can I use it in my day-to-day? And that's, for me, that's partnering with, people and culture to make sure that there's a place for me to have this conversation outside of my department, outside of my team. And then I'm starting in my industry, right? And in Boston, we're very lucky. We have a very tight hospitality community. And I am spreading this message to my hospitality community. And what's happening as a result is I'm getting people say things to me like, I'd hire you tomorrow to come talk to our people about this concept. I'm getting messages like, it's not rocket science, but we need to hear it over and over again because it's so easy to get in the grind. And, we are answering to leaders who want to know what the revenue is and are the covers up, like cover count, not covers. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
So it's like quieting the voice that wants to tell you, like, this is not new information. It's the way that it's being delivered, and it's from someone who's got a lot of lived experience in it. And listen, I've screwed it up. I've gone asleep at the wheel with evaluating people and seeing people because I've been so focused on we're leading through this change and we're, we're reorging or we're doing whatever we're doing and forgetting. And, and something goes awry and you're like, oh, let's look at this. Oh, because you know what? You haven't checked in with your people and they're feeling disconnected and they're feeling, and so when I start to have those conversations and people are like, oh, we have that too in our company over here. How did you deal with it? And so for a long time, I was like, can you just get on the phone with me and talk me through this? And now I'm like, yes. And do you have a town hall? So it's sort of like, me like putting myself out there a little bit and seeing if what happens and then being ready to say yes when it happens.
Yes. Beautiful. Love that. So there's a real intentional externalization. I don't know if that's a word, but we're going to go with it. Of your particular gifts, your intention, the really taking the Kool-Aid that you've created at the Red Sox and saying, here's what I've learned, here's what I know, and I want to share it with other people, right?
Yes.
So putting yourself out there is big. But I also want to talk about the process of really acknowledging and owning your expertise.
Yes.
Because anybody who's done what they've done for a decade or two, you have some expertise.
Yes.
You have something to offer and something to share. So can you just talk a little bit about what that process has been like for you? What helps you recognize that you do have something to share? What's that journey been like for you?
Wow, that's a really good question. I do have something to share, and I guess it started a permission slip that I was allowed to have that thought and not push it down. That I do have a way of delivering this message in a way that's unique to me and through storytelling. And I think, just experimenting a little with social, like just going on Instagram and saying, hey guys, this is what I'm dealing with today. And the wall of DMs that come. Or when I'm not doing that, they're like, how come you haven't posted? Like, give me some inspiration. So that tells me it's working. And or like having talks, socializing it, right? Like I just had this idea, Sally, you know this, a few weeks ago of I'm going to just experiment. I'm going to go give my message in a room, and it's a gift, right? I'm going to come deliver this really cool content to the hospitality community because we need to hear it and we need to remind ourselves of it and see how that resonates. And I'm, working through that process now. And I know that will lead to some miracles, right? Some people will say, hey, come talk about this. And I think too, it's about service. It's about being of service to this industry that I love so much. And yes, industries outside of our industry. But showing up for the people in the room because they need to hear the message. They need to be inspired. This is a really hard business. It's a really hard business at night. It happens on weekends. It happens on holidays. And if you're in it and you love it, you just love it. But there's times where this type of message is like the drink of water because you're so parched, it's just like, hear that. This is why I'm in the industry. This is the people. And yes. And I have these. And the other huge thing that I like to say is that all of this is hard work. The cost is that you have to be intentional, but it's free.
Yeah. So powerful. And just some really important reminders as you're talking about this, that putting yourself out there, creating those opportunities for yourself and seeing them as a little bit of an experiment, what Judy Holler calls a fear experiment. It's like, okay, right? I'm going to just try this fear experiment and see what happens, and trusting your own level of experience, like really getting yourself into a place where you're like, I belong in this moment. I belong in this moment. I have something to say. I am worthy of this moment. It's just so, so powerful. So it's been really fun to watch you start to just take it a little bit, take your leadership to the next level, your voice, your expertise, your authority, and recognize that you have something to say. And what a gift that was ignited in some way, even though you knew it, you were there because you knew it.
Yes.
But just to give you the permission to say it's worthy.
Right.
Worthy.
Yeah. And the action thing is, yeah. And your question was around like, what's your process to get to that point? And it's like, you can't just, it's lifelong learning, right? You gotta, it's practice. You gotta practice doing it. You just got to do it over and over again, because those feelings that come up of like, can I, should I, ooh, who am I? That's just human, right? That's just human.
Yeah.
And it's not going away. So it's like, what do you do with it?
Yeah.
It's like being more aware of like Jen said, action. Just take one step. That's your message too, Sally. Like, just do one thing. Just do, what can you do today to move it forward? And then the miracle, right?
Yeah. So. Yeah. I mean, the same messages apply to all of us, whether you are internal somewhere, traditionally employed like this, but you have this greater sense of contribution. I think I have an idea. I have something to say. I want to create this thing. That's the same entrepreneurial journey as somebody who is building their own business and say, can I? Should I? Am I worthy of this? It's all the same stories that we often tell ourselves. So to your point, Carrie, at the end of the day, can we show up anyway? Can we try anyway? Can we just take that baby step anyway?
Yeah. Feels really
Despite
good when you do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. It feels really good. Erica has a question for you. And she says, I'd like to know why you're coming back this year to Permission Slip. Why are you coming back to us? We're so happy that you are. Why are you coming back?
Because it's a journey. Because I need the community. Because I'm a different person than I was a year ago. And so I'm going to hear it different, and it's going to hit different. And I'm going to be inspired in a different way. And honestly, maybe I will inspire someone too. Who can I help? Who can I support? And also, I mean, I saw the speaker lineup. I'm not missing that. So yeah, that's why.
It's going to be so good, Carrie. It's going to be so good.
It's so good. And it's so affordable, and it's an investment in myself that I'm, a personal investment in myself to invest the time to step away from my day-to-day, invest the registration fee and the flight. But the benefit is the ROI on that is so huge. The relationships alone from last year. I mean, I've made some very dear friends / coaches / cheerleader squad, people that I'm on a text with a couple of the women who are like, did you submit your speaker thing to Convening Leaders PCMA? There's been a call for speaking. Did you do it yet? So it's good. That's why I wouldn't miss it. November 15th, right?
November 15th. Well, thank you for giving that little nudge right there. That's right. It is November 15th. Yep. And oh my gosh, I know November sounds like it's far away, but it's really not. It is sneaking up on all of us. So if you haven't yet grabbed your tickets, this link right at the bottom, wherever it is on your screen, exactly. Yeah. Go grab your tickets now. We are so delighted to be offering a little wider range of experiences this year. We have our VIP dinner on Thursday night, which is so fun. It's really not a dinner. It's more like a gathering, and we do have yummy food there, but it's such a fun way. You're going to get a sneak peek into the space. We're going to do some fun, cool tours of the space. And then the event is Friday, all day Friday, and it will fuel and enrich your spirit in big, important ways and give you some of those practical, tactical know-hows. And then on Saturday morning, we have added what we're calling the Permission Slip Pajama Party, the PJ planning party, pajama planning party. I don't know. It's fun. And the idea was really inspired last year by people who were so hungry to like go get stuff done. We're like, well, let's create a little space for you to do that. And we'll do it together. Many of our sponsors and our speakers will be there to help just provide some support and guidance and ideas, and we'll throw some stuff on the wall and just walk around and make sure that you walk away feeling like you've got a plan, you've got support to do it, you found all these cheerleaders, this community has really shown up for you. We're really excited to walk people through this whole range of experience so that you can start 2025 feeling not just clear and not just ready, but also up-leveled, like dreaming a little bit bigger in that way, that whatever that feeling is, that inside we're like, can I, should I? You're going to feel like, I can.
Yeah.
I can, and I'm gonna.
I will. Yeah. I love the pajama party, and I love it because so many times I come away from a conference and here's all my notes in this book that stays like this for like a week and a half. And then I'm like, where is that book? but this gives you a chance to actually like roll your sleeves up and play with what you learned. I love that. That's so cool.
Exactly it. That's exactly it. Don't let those notes die in your notebook.
Yeah.
Actually dig in together on it. I think it's going to be really cool. And we still have tickets available for all of those experiences. If you want a VIP experience, which gets you some things. It's the Thursday night and some extra things on Friday. And the VIP Plus includes the pajama party too. So reach out if you have questions about it. If you already have your VIP ticket and you're like, okay, how do I just get the pajama party? We'll take care of you. Just reach out. Let us know.
Love that.
It's going to be so fun. I know. It's going to be great. We can't wait. And we are so deeply grateful, Carrie, for your enthusiasm, your belief in this experience, for taking the leap last year and showing up, and for being engaged in the community as a whole. I am so grateful that we met, and you're a delight. And we're just getting started, really, is the truth of it.
Getting started. How good can it get? How good can it get?
How good? Oh, Erica's pointing out that you have a discount code.
I'm posting that today. Yes.
Okay, so go follow Carrie. Go check out her information. I'm going to put her stuff right here. Connect with Carrie. This is, I believe, your LinkedIn potentially. Let's find out. Let's connect and we'll see. And you will be sharing a discount code, which gets everybody 10% off.
Yes.
Worth it.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm so excited. And thank you for giving me a chance to chat with you today, Sally and Erica. And don't miss the permission slip. It's so good.
Oh,
so good.
You are the best.
I was just thinking, and then we have to go, but even if you're like giving your permission to like give yourself permission to run for like a board position, or like, I'm going to raise my hand at church for this, whatever leadership role. It's like those types of things too, like, I wanted to join the Chamber of Commerce board, like go do it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's so much. There is so much within all of us if we were to just give ourselves permission to do it.
Yeah. Fired up.
All right.
Woo.
Okay. Carrie, you know how we end this?
Dance party?
I don't know if you're aware. Dance party. You got it, friend. Just let's see. I got to make sure the sound is up and ready. Here we go. Yay! Thank you, Carrie. Thank you for being here. You're the best. Bye-bye.
Bye.